Here we go.
Welcome to the end of Week 5 of Fight for Your Future. Last week I told you the story of the final prelim week, which was the most intense week yet. Salim and Fred went head-to-head in a Roman chair challenge, and the red and blue teams battled it out in a nutritional challenge. The captains in the end went to the final showdown. Now, although they are two teams deadlocked in competition, they are still one family at North Plainfield TSMMA, and their competitive nature and team spirit will play intensely in this week's chapter of Fight for Your Future. Having passed the halfway point, the competition became even more difficult. This week, the competitors were informed that 4 people would be removed from the competition. The first selections would be chosen from the team or teams that its members have shown the least nutritional improvement. The following were the individual standings of the body weight percent lost since the start of the competition. Stuart Fine, minus 7%. Chrissy Bischoff, minus 6%. Peter Juris, minus 4%. Fred Mitchell, 0%. Brian Walling, minus 4%.
You don't have to say it.
Amelia Wheeler, minus 3%. Janice Madrigal, minus 2%. Jess Wexler, minus 6%. Nikki Gomes, 0%.
I knew it.
Sorry.
Greg Avina, minus 7%. Salim Lane-Jeffress, 0%. And Andrew Hayes, minus 9%. Blue team, that means you will need to eliminate 2 people by the end of the night. As a reward, the top 5 contestants of the challenge were each rewarded a shirt from our sponsors at Tie Gear. Receiving the shirts, Jess Wexler, Chrissy Bischoff, Stuart Fine, Greg Avina, and Andrew Hayes. In addition to the shirts, for leading the competition to date, Andrew Hayes was given another surprise. Andrew, for leading the challenge, you will be presented with the final immunity glove. As with the other glove, this can be used to save yourself or one of your teammates from elimination. And note, this was not any ordinary glove. This was the limited edition tattooed Tie Gear Extreme Series boxing glove. To date, the best they've ever made. Andrew, you now have both immunity gloves. How do you plan on using them in competition?
I'm going to be giving the glove to my captain for him to use tactically whenever he chooses. And again,
before beginning the fitness challenge, the competitors were informed that upon completion of Fight for Your Future, our sponsors at Tie Gear would be donating the immunity gloves, a $120 value, to the champion as a reward for their hard work. Now, having posted the results through Week 5, we now find out how the other 2 teammates would be eliminated this week. The following competition will be a sit-up competition. I would ask that each member of the red team look to their left. The person standing there will be your partner for this challenge. Each pair was given 1 minute each to do as many full sit-ups as possible. One teammate performed the sit-up while the other team member held their legs and provided a strong base as well as a target. Although on separate teams, combined efforts were critical in determining who would advance to the following week's challenge, as it was the combined total that was used as the pair's score for this event. The 2 teams with the lowest score went to a nutritional elimination round where the final eliminations were determined. Let's see how they did. The first challengers to take the stage were Salim and Nikki, held by Andrew and Greg. The first pair did their best, but hoped their partners would give them enough points to escape the elimination round. And Andrew and Greg did just that. Knowing what needed to be done, they pushed through the pain and focused on using every ounce of core strength that they built up during the regular training. At the end of the round, Andrew and Salim posted a total score of 87 combined sit-ups. Greg and Nikki, 127. On to round 2. Brian Walling went head-to-head against Jess Wexler. Having seen the performance of the first group, they knew they had to leave everything on the mat. And they pushed themselves, but this time, not for a personal goal, but for their team. Completing the second set of competitors were Janice and Amelia. Despite their great distance in belt rank, Both competitors were in excellent condition and posted solid results. At the end of round 2, Jess and Janice posted a total of 77 sit-ups, placing them at the bottom of the ranking, with only one more pair to go for the day. Emil and Brian seated themselves in second place, with 109 total sit-ups. Finishing up the physical portion of the Week 5 challenge were Fred and Peter. Fred, currently in his 60s, powered through his sit-ups with ease. With unrivaled determination, Peter pushed himself, knowing that if his pair did more than 87 sit-ups, it would save them from the elimination round. With the final total calculated, Fred and Peter pulled it off and seated themselves in third place with a total of 98 sit-ups. This means that Andrew, Salim, Jess, and Janice would be moving on to the nutritional elimination round. In this round, the contestants were informed I would be asking them to estimate the nutritional content of 4 in-motion meal items. They were to write down their estimates to determine which was the closest. The 2 team members with the greatest variance at the end of the 4 questions would be eliminated. Number 1. What is the protein content contained in the Pro Series grilled Black Angus sirloin filet with brown rice and broccoli that contains 7 ounces of sirloin and 1 cup of brown rice? Andrew, your answer?
15 grams.
Salim? Jess?
16.
And Janice?
30.
Salim, you mentioned that you've had trouble with your nutrition to date. Well, not today. You were the closest. The correct answer is 67 grams of protein. Number 2. What is the fat content contained in the bodybuilder, which contains a serving size of grilled chicken with yam and broccoli? Starting with Janice. Jess.
4.
Salim. And Andrew.
20.
And the correct answer is only 1 gram of fat. Number 3. What is the carb content of naked lasagna, which contains a serving of low-fat chicken and spinach whole wheat lasagna? Salim, starting with you.
I say 10.
Jess.
7.
Janice.
3.
And Andrew. Andrew, you have redeemed yourself. The correct answer is 24 grams. Number 4. How many calories are contained in the new eggplant and chicken delight, which contains balsamic chicken, roasted red peppers, grilled eggplant, and fat-free mozzarella cheese? This is it. Based on these answers, we will be determining who will be going home tonight. Andrew, you're currently in first and at risk of being eliminated, but you do have an immunity glove. Let's see if you need to use it. Your answer?
350.
Salim.
I say 250.
Jess.
300.
And Janice.
260.
The correct answer is 262 calories. Salim and Janice, you are safe. Andrew, I assume that you will be using your immunity glove.
Yeah.
I will now ask Captain Joe. You were given the other immunity glove earlier today. Will you use it to save Jess? If you do, your team will be out of immunity gloves for the rest of the challenge.
Can I have a team huddle?
Yes, you may.
Team huddle.
Captain Joe, your team met. What did they decide? Will you use your last immunity glove to save Jess, one of the leaders of the challenge?
Yes.
Captain Regman, unfortunately your team did not earn any immunity gloves, which means you will need to choose which 2 teammates will be going home tonight. I will give you a moment to discuss with your team.
That was because.
No, it's not because of that. It's because of the week and the week before. Like, it's been 2 weeks of struggling. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna have an epiphany by today, right? Am I? You know what I mean?
Blue team continued to discuss strategy as teammate Nikki struggled with letting someone else go in her place, as she felt she was letting her team down. Captain Regman took the time to console her. Let's see what he decided.
All right, the first person I'm eliminating, she did very well. She did very well in the challenge also, but she's at a very good weight from when she first started training it. And now she's pretty much plateaued, and she agrees she's going to, continue her challenge for St. Holland. It's going to be Janice Madrigal. The point of this is to have the team with the most win over loss going down. So I will inform her the second, person that's going is going to be Lindsay Wells.
The blue team may be down, but not out, as Captain Regman rallied his troops.
You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Go.
They had some tough decisions to make in week 5 of the challenge. Still having 3 weeks to go, this fight is far from over. Tune in for the next episode that takes students off the mat and into the kitchen, with In Motion Meals head chef Carlo Filippone. I'm your host, Joshu Jim Samartino, and I'll see you in the future.